93.7.
It's always a beautiful morning. Anytime it's time for Insight. And that is just that time now. Welcome to the show. It's Insight on Citizen FM 93.7. My name is Lawrence Omoette. That's what it is. Especially, and I'm sure at the end of the show, welcome to Insight, Timothy.
Thank you very much.
Timothy Wachuku is a technical assistant as a senior special assistant to the president on student engagement, Comrade Sunday Dayo at Sheffo. And together with Timothy, we will be looking at a lot of issues concerning students, concerning the education sector. Why don't you just sit back as we commence the program? All right, Timothy, since the appointment of your principal, talking about the senior special assistant to the president on student engagement, could you tell us some of those things?
Thank you very much. Appointment of Honorable Comrade Sunday Dayo as the senior special assistant to the president on student engagement. The reason is not far-fetched. Honorable Dayo was the past person who led Nigerian students to block the Ministry of Education gate, and he's been a champion for students' rights. He advocated for the well-being of. He's someone who's very passionate about actively about the welfare of Nigerian students when he was the president of NICE, and I'm sure that was one of the qualities that Mr. President saw in him and decided to give him the opportunity to serve the government as the middleman between the presidency and the student community, and to justify the confidence that was reposed on him. The first thing he did was that he unveiled a 15-point agenda to tell you that to complement the vision of His Excellency Ashwadi Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He came up with a 15-point agenda that covers every strata of life and the world affecting Nigerian students. Talking about so many areas, for example, so many of them continuous sensitization and engagement with Nigerian students. Now, let me say this, that there was a disconnect between the student community and that office, but this is different because a comrade is on the saddle. So most times if you come to office, you won't say him why, because he's a student, making them understand the government, how they can benefit. For example, you said that the government are not doing anything for us. Unfortunately, the government is doing so much massively. However, because of the disinformation or lack of information, people are not even aware of what the president is doing. Let me give you some practical example. Number one, the president, when he took over, the first bill he signed into law was the Student Loan Act. Tell you that he is a student-oriented president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and what Honorable Dayo has done over, because we have a student-friendly Mr. Beyond the day you ought to graduate in the tertiary institution, and you could see that is happening today. Nothing like strikes since Mr. President took over. Secondly, Mr. President, Ashaba has gone round our tertiary institution, our students. They're not paid. The government is not Nigerian students and is working around the clock to ensure. So look at a bill is a law. Already there is a management possible to sensitize Nigerian students on how best to apply for this loan, to get access to this loan so that they'll be able to graduate. You know, Ashwadi is someone who wasn't able to sign that loan act to make it to become law, and appoint a management committee for it, so that the child of a carpenter, the child of a security man, the child of a have the friends to go to university. No, that was in colleges of education. Even if you don't have money, the government can assess 35 billion programs and policies of the government. He has come up with a lot of capacity building programs that are aimed at helping Nigerian students. Let me give you another practical example. I hope I'm not talking too much.
No.
He came up with this initiative called JEEP, Gender Empowerment, on gender affairs, empower female students in Nigeria. And it's not just paying lip service to it. He even went further to visit Federal University of Dusima in Castilla State to collaborate with the Center for Gender Studies there. And then they did a program guess what happened there? You have a regional head to get, do you need to do by the time you get to reach of government who cannot access education without support.
Another fear has been that with the way guarantee that
they give opportunity to get Nigerian students powers the now from the right of the death of a student who they think or believe sincerely and honestly that he cannot be able to repay to this program. The goals in life without a family, but the education loan, the United States education has this program with us sincerely to pay anything, massive reform that. But however, if someone is not able to,
since your principal have traveled, is the
issue is where there are students that some schools have population lots, but I must appreciate what TED Fund is doing. Just recently, TED Fund have been able to construct, they've been doing it over the years, but more recently they were rigid. Remember the Mr. President gave them about 800 billion to support what they're doing, and they're beginning to put up more structures in across our tertiary institution. And secondly, in the North is geopolitical zone. One of the problems that developed the education sector there is insecurity. You know, there was a time before this government, there was a time insecurity was all high. The students weren't able to go to school. Even in the university, there were some of them were being kidnapped. But I can tell you that that has become a thing of the past. Drastically, it has reduced, and the students that were kidnapped has all been rescued. And that is why in faraway Federal University, Dusima in Castina State, the vice chancellor of the university and the student and the senate board named a building after Honorable Comrade Dio from the Asha for the SSA to the president on student engagement, because he is not an SSA that sits down in the office and writes a report to Mr. President that we're doing this, we're doing that. Rather, he's an SSA to assure them, those students to assure them that the government has not forgotten them. And I showed you Bola Tinubu is working around the clock to ensure that they are protected. And so Nigerian students have never had it so good other than now. For example, through our office on communication, we keep Nigerian students. We work in tandem with all the bodies and colleges of education commission to ensure that Nigerian student gets the best.
All right, I'm happy that you mentioned infrastructure. What about curriculum of the education revisited?
Thank you very much for that. And the issue of curriculum, that was one of the issues we brought on board. And we were made to understand that there has been a review and ongoing review. We visited NUC review process for example, if you go to the polytechnics, mass communication has been unbundled. Before it used to be mass communication, but now we have journalism, we have about 4 divisions for you need to think out of the body. Computer science, no, it has been unbundled. It has been put in place. You see, are doing what they working tirelessly to ensure that's which I appreciate most. In developing the curriculum, let me give you a practical example.
Okay.
Example, if you're talking about banking and finance, as they try to review the curriculum of banking and finance studies, education, what they do is that they bring Chartered Institute of Bankers, because these are the people who are in the sector. They were foreseen that there is no point graduating and then you go to the banking sector. They have to train you again for 6 months or 1 year before you take up a car, before you begin to function effectively in the banking sector. So what they do is in reviewing the curriculum, they bring the people who are practically in the field to come and sit down with them and make their own input to be able to revise the curriculum to have a globally accepted curriculum that will meet the
attention to the senior issues concerning students. Don't go away.
Hello, Abuja. You are listening to 93.7 Citizen FM, the latest radio station based in Nigeria's capital. Our station seeks to broadcast a broad mix of culture and views with priority given to development programming to enable residents share ideas and opinions, talk and culture. Together, we are more than just a radio station.
Radio waiting 7 FM Abuja every Monday go reach Thursday, and the time now 5:10 will be 10 minutes after 5.
Little lift to do. Women's mentorship and family too. We will tackle the issues, provide solutions, and see you through. Finding your voice, reaching high, and making an impact. Women's Corner, where knowledge can fly. Join us every Monday. It's Women for Everybody. Did you miss out on the news during the week? Not to worry, that made the retrospect on Forest. I choose this is my mental health Niger, and to help Niger.
Welcome to the second half of the show with Timothy, Ambassador Timothy Mwachiko, who is a technical artist. Thank you so much for standing by.
Thank you, back. I'm glad to be back here.
All right. Timothy, very prominent personality in the student unionism days and so many other things. And those that...
thank you very much. I want to in the name of strike and Nigerian students in challenge the rise of IPPs or leading. And I should not mention center once there is
in the discussion, the phone lines. You can also call us on 020 your message. Don't forget, we are looking at the education sector with emphasis on students. I think we have a caller here. Let's see. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, my name is Larry. But the issue on that regulatory consider which thing are built upon. The regulatory including the Nigerian Union of Teachers, calling on the president and so many other stakeholders for him to have a look at it. And up till now, there's no recourse. As I speak to him, he's giving them in the code in terms of financing. And they have a lot of issues to do in terms of quality of education in Nigeria. Please, can you speak to that?
All right, thank you so much, Larry. I'm sure that Timothy will respond to some of these issues.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Larry, for following on the conversation as he retreated and he confirmed where I say that Mr. President is a listening president whenever issues crops up that he always listens. And Mr. Larry, I want to assure you that after I'm going to look at it and then channel it to the appropriate quarters, we have the Ministry of Education that oversees Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria, the governing councils of the but the council board is not, in several occasions the Nigerians have been able, I will remember the time that in the appointment of the ministers, and a minister, the current minister of Nigeria was appointed as a minister of youth, there was no pro, and people said, no, we need a young person to manage our force of young people. Less than 24 hours, he was redeployed in the ministry of Niger Delta, and of course, young people were given opportunity to serve, and more young people. So, I want to assure you that the complaints will channel to the appropriate quarters, and we have unlimited jurisdiction on the affairs that concerning Nigerian students in tertiary institutions, universities, polytechnic, and colleges of education. However, what we've mentioned still follow the education, and we'll channel it to the Ministry of Education for appropriate action. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Larry, if you're still listening. And the number to call is on 081. Timothy, I was about to ask, what are your thoughts on the autonomy of this sector, especially the tertiary education? It's always been controversial. Oh, we need the universities to be autonomous.
Well, let's face the facts and the reality. According to the chairman of FIRS, he made a statement last week. He said Nigeria, but he said that looking at statistics that are on board, he looked at the budget of Nigeria and compared it with Kenya and South Africa and discovered that whenever Nigeria as a country is even a fraction of what we have in Kenya and South Africa, even though we have more populations. Now, that is the budget of Nigeria that is meant to cater for all the structures of our economy, education, health, and security, and the rest of them all. Now, if you talking about autonomy of universities, if you allow university management to determine the cost of education for each child, I will tell you that at the end of the day, you discover that so many Nigerian young people who are aspiring and desiring to go to higher institutions may not be able to go to higher institutions because there are a lot of factors. Of course, there will be recruitment, there will be need for maintenance of the infrastructures in the campuses, there will be need for stable supply of electricity, and so many of that running costs associated with running a university or educational lecturers. No, they are the students. And that is why you see that here in Abuja, for instance, you see a private school, a private primary, secondary school. Their school fees is like 2 million, 3 million, private primary secondary school, 2 million, 3 million. which of the federal tertiary institution autonomy allow them to, that is remain them. Imagine those who want to study medicine will pay, those who want to study law will pay, those who want to study engineering will pay. You will discover that such courses will be the exclusive reserved for the super rich. Discover that such courses will be the exclusive reserved for the super rich. He is doing everything possible to ensure that everyone is given opportunity to have access to education.
I would ask you this. Do you think we need the establishment of more universities, more polytechnics?
Yes, we need not just this, and I want to use this medium to call, right now as we're speaking, there is a citizens engagement going on at the National Assembly, and I'm sure that Nigerians are all listening here in Abuja and beyond. I want to make a passionate appeal to the people's representatives, that is the members of the National Assembly and the senators. You see, the House of Rep members and senators, it is not because this is almost of the licensed institutions. For David University of Medical Sciences, we don't go there, they don't do engineering, they don't do mass communication, they don't do just institutions specialized that are taking care of all those areas and population. What about China? What about India? These are people universities. We need specialized institutions where our people, even if it is University of Carpentry, University of Carpentry, you become an international renowned furniture makers in Italy from different countries. Why are we specialized institutions? Whenever your mind can wants to
the phone lines are still open. 0818 2222. My guest is still here. We'll be on the home stretch of the program. Please don't go away.
Enable residents share ideas and opinions, music and drama. At Citizen FM, we believe in progressive talk and solution-driven conversation. Our aim is to build a united Nigeria by bringing Citizen FM. We are more than just a radio station. We are a part of your life.
Come gather here. Which kind tori una wan hear on top radio? Wetin dey catch fire on top social media? Bring am on top Make We Talk Am. For city wey be 10 minutes after 5. Make we talk
Thank you for staying tuned. It's still Insights on Citizen FM 93.2979 You can also send us a WhatsApp message and we will read your message. Ambassador Timothy Wanchuku, Technical Assistance on Communication to the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Student Engagement, is our guest. Timothy, thank you for still holding up.
Thank you very much.
All right, Timothy, they did different forms and complain about it. I don't know whether you have heard
fees and complaints by the students. Let me use the fees of the SSA to the president on students and complaint. We receive them, we process it, and then we act accordingly. And I think we've received complaints about, for example, fees increments by some tertiary institution. But I want to remind you that Mr. President actually, and of course, you know that no university school fees in our office is not relating to the fees increment, but relating to domestic appeal, relating to sexual abuse.
Exactly, I was coming to that.
Okay. Relating to gender complaint, the student complaint, for example. We received a message from university. They were writing examination and they didn't have the facilities because some of them use typewriter, a typewriter to write the exam. They didn't have the facilities that enabled them to, so they couldn't allow them to. What we did was that we reached out to the dean, student from the president of the visual impaired student. He reached out to them. They run a very open government. The office of the SSA to the president, led by Honorable Comrade Sunday Shefo, is a field SSA to hear that a student is being oppressed or being marginalized, so he takes it very, very seriously. So we call on Nigerian students, you don't have to suffer in silence. So
before we round off, your final message to
patriotic and below abiding. Let me just make a reference to what happened in University of Benin yesterday. We woke up the news of unrest student unrest in University of Benin. They blocked the road, destroying vehicles and then trying to hamper commuters from using the road because there were proclivities in their school. Of course, the Vice Chancellor has come out has to make a passionate appeal to resolve this. We will come up with a meeting between Benin Electricity Division that will be beneficial to everyone of us. So Nigerian students, please, no matter what is happening, do not take laws into your hand. Don't go about destroying properties in the institutions. You know, we said you are grieved. You don't just go on rampage to begin to destroy. Federal Republic of Nigeria, as President Ashwaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu appointed a unionist, a comrade, as an SSA, honorable comrade, for someone who have gone through the system and as a unionist, and who fought for the right of Nigerian students. As your middleman, so whatever complaint you have, you want to Mr. President, you bring it to us, and we assure you that it will get to him. Whatever that is within our power to do, we will do it to make sure that Nigerians are to other countries who the education, their standard of education is even below what we have in Nigeria. Please, and your words, any good that lies in the Nigerian dream, we must be able to work together, synergize, put our hands on deck, not just for the government alone, the parents, the community, the religious institution, the traditional institution. We all must come together to salvage what is happening in our education system. Please. And please, I appeal to parents, don't send your children to where they will get certificate, BSc or any form of degree within 1 week or 2 weeks, and which they will not be able to defend. Please allow them to go through the process. And I'm very happy for this privilege. I want to thank especially the Citizen FM for creating this platform to allow opportunity to be here again. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. I think this is where we have to end it. Ambassador Timothy Mwachukwu, technical assistant and communication to the senior special assistant to the president on student engagement, who is Comrade Sunday Dayo Ashefo. Thank you so much, Timothy, for your time. We really enjoyed this discussion with you, and we hope that students out there who are listening would have also picked up something to go home with. So thank you so much, Timothy. We hope to get you back on the program and also to have your principal back on the show one of these days.
Definitely, as soon as it's back to Abuja, he will be here. Thank you.
All right, so that's the